Good morning. Welcome back with the MQL Suite Morning Market Report. Margin traded investment carries considerable economic risks, and whoever carries it out under his or her sole responsibility. Therefore, the author of this teaching session assumes no responsibility for any direct or indirect damages in relation to investment decisions taken by the listener. Today is Thursday, 11th July. The S&P yesterday surpassed for the first time in history 3,000 points, supported by the Fed's assurances on cutting the cost of money. Now that the Fed's position is clearer, the momentum could continue to push prices higher in the coming days. Asian stock markets this morning are in tune, with the exception of Shanghai, down 0.1%. European futures follow closely, opening above par. The 10-year Treasury note returned to strengthening at 2.04% yield. Yesterday, in Germany, the preliminary estimates of inflation in June were confirmed. In fact, the final readings recorded an increase of 0.3% on the month and 1.6% on the year. In Britain, the economy is growing very slowly. The latest figures show GDP growth of 0.3% in the second quarter. The positive data dissipates the fears of a recession, but the service sector suffers. Consumption has been reduced to at the minimum since the mid-1990s, with consumer confidence being undermined by continuing uncertainties about Brexit. The gold this morning rises to $1,424 an ounce, benefited by the depreciation of the dollar and the increase in the gold reserves of the central banks. In Europe, the largest reserve is held by the Polish National Bank, which recently added 228.6 tons of ingots to its reserves. The sharp decline in U.S. stocks supports the rise in the price of crude oil. September Brent futures traded at $67.06 a barrel, while the West Texas Intermediate of August traded at $60.55 a barrel. Tensions in the Middle East also contributed to the prices after Tehran attempted to seize a British oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. In the agenda today, consumer prices in France and the publication of the minutes of the last European Central Bank meeting. In the afternoon, applications for unemployment benefits and inflation data in the United States will be published. It's a quarter to 11. The American indices have resumed the long-term uptrend, with the Dow Jones gaining 0.20%, the Nasdaq gaining 0.30%, and the S&P gaining 0.23%. Among the European indices, only the FTSE MIB moves in trend, with a gain of 0.59%. The gold is appreciating by 0.36% against the American dollar and by 0.13% against the euro. Palladium is gaining 0.92%. The Brent is appreciating by 1.27%, and the WTI gains 0.88%. In the forex market, the Australian dollar weakens by 0.02% against the Canadian dollar and by 0.13% against the yen. The euro is weakening, with euro NZD that is losing 0.09%, while euro dollar is gaining 0.21%. The pound is weakening, with GBP CAD that is losing 0.03%, and GBP CHF and GBP yen that are losing 0.13%, and finally GBP NZD is losing 0.06%. USD CAD is losing 0.26%. The strongest currency this morning is the Japanese yen that is earning 0.75% on the basket. Also, the New Zealand dollar is strengthening with a 0.71% gain. On the other hand, the euro is losing 0.48% and the American dollar is the weakest currency with a 2.15% loss on the basket. The best performance is recorded by NZD-USD that is earning 0.35%. On the contrary, the worst performance is recorded by USD-Yen that is losing 0.35%. That's all for the moment. If you liked our analysis, please leave a like one. Furthermore, I invite you to register on our channel to stay up to date. Have a nice trading!